O Mother Nui, stretch high above this valley. Your starry body is our glory. Then see the hawk of yonder Rahur quit, his fiery splendor, oh so mighty. He brings a light for all our weary souls. He makes the broken spirit whole.
Welcome to today's deep dive. Imagine taking an ancient, sacred, mystical practice and just entirely stripping away all the religious devotion.
Yeah, and treating it almost like pure, brutal software engineering for your brain.
Exactly. We are looking at the controversial 20th century occultist Aleister Crowley today, and specifically how he completely re-engineered classical Indian yoga.
Right, to create what he called scientific illuminism.
Our mission today is to uncover how Crowley tossed aside all that religious dogma to literally hack the human nervous system.
And to really see that software engineering approach in action, you kind of have to look at his radical physical demands. I mean, if you are picturing modern fitness yoga or even traditional Hindu liberation, just erase those from your mind right now.
Yeah, completely different vibe.
Very. Crowley viewed the physical body purely as a machine that had to be immobilized.
Immobilized to, an extreme degree. He required the practitioner to hold a single posture, an asana, without moving a fraction of an inch.
Right, until all the agonizing physical pain just vanished.
And sensory feedback to the brain stopped entirely. Students even had to balance a brimful vessel of water on their heads to prove they weren't making micromovements, which is just wild.
It really is. But that absolute stillness was the core requirement. By refusing to move, you essentially force the nervous system to stop sending positional data to the brain.
It is like building a DIY sensory deprivation tank out of your own skeleton.
Yeah.
But I have to ask, if the goal is just to shut down the body's signals to the brain, doesn't that sound more akin to medically inducing a glitch rather than achieving any sort of spiritual peace?
Well, that is the fascinating part. Crowley actually embraced the idea of inducing biological glitches.
Wait, really?
Yeah, because he believed he was physically overriding the nervous system. He demanded absolute scientific proof of these states over blind faith.
Right, no taking it on faith.
Exactly. He forced his students to keep a magical record. This is a relentlessly clinical diary where they tracked breath counts, barometric pressure, their diet, every possible physical variable.
He was even demystifying ancient miracles through physiology. Take the legendary levitation stage of yoga.
Oh, right, the hopping frog stage.
Yeah. He explained it not as supernatural floating, but literally as an unconscious muscle spasm.
Because the mechanism behind that is pure biology. His advanced breath work, or pranayama, it drastically altered blood chemistry.
How so? What is actually happening in the body?
Well, when you hyperventilate or hold your breath to extremes, your carbon dioxide levels plummet. That severe lack of CO2 restricts blood vessels in the brain, which triggers involuntary motor cortex firing.
Wow, so it literally causes perfectly balanced whole body muscle spasms.
Exactly. It's a physiological response.
Okay, but wait. If Crowley boils levitation down to measurable blood chemistry and hyperventilation spasms, why keep the occult framing at all? Why not just publish a biology paper and leave the mysticism out of it?
That is a great point. But the thing is, the biological conditioning was just the mandatory preparation for his end goal.
Which was high ceremonial magic, spelled with a K at the end to distinguish his rigorous system from, stage illusion.
Right. Traditional yoga generally seeks to extinguish the self permanently. But Crowley wanted to quiet the ego's daily noise just enough to discover what he called the true will.
Meaning the individual's absolute divine orbit in the universe.
Yes. He believed silencing the mind created a pristine psychic vacuum, like a clean slate that you needed to safely channel the holy guardian angel.
And that was his term for the objective source of that true will, right?
Correct. And without the iron discipline of yoga to stabilize the nervous system, he warned that the human mind would inevitably fracture under the overwhelming psychological weight of that encounter.
Oh, wow. It is like upgrading a computer's hardware and cooling system. You have to stabilize the physical machine so the motherboard doesn't literally catch fire when you finally install a massive, high-voltage software program.
That is a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
And the stakes for that installation were incredibly high.
Yeah.
Because if you achieve that laser-like neurological focus, there is a trap.
Trap.
Yeah. Crowley warned that using this immense psychic power, merely to selfishly fortify your own ego, turns you into what he called a black brother.
Yikes.
Instead of surrendering to universal love, a black brother becomes utterly trapped in their own isolation, just completely cut off from the rest of existence.
That sounds terrifying. It basically locks you inside your own brutal software.
Exactly. It is a total dead end.
This definitely challenges how you might view mindfulness today. Like, is it just a way to relax after work, or is it an untapped technology for supreme neurological focus?
It is a lot to think about.
It really is. It leaves you with a thought for today. If you successfully immobilized your physical machine right now and stripped away all your mental noise, what true will would you actually find waiting in the silence?